A draft physics video on the older computer, which does this video thing a bit better. So anyway, so it should be a little, sorry, yeah, I mean, you might not get good quality forever, but I'll try to do them on this computer when convenient, or something like that. Anyway, so the science forums have decided to attempt to censor me or shut me up or tone me down or burn me like a book because I'm doing video. So they're not going to allow me to post videos anymore. And these are supposed to be people that have science in the title, right? They think they're scientists. So the very idea that scientists would be opposed to adding value, that is, providing more options. Let's have HTML and PDF files. Yeah. Well, yeah, let's have text, and we could have video and audio. I posted a couple of comments because they were kind of leaning towards this. I already got a sense that they really hated the idea of posting videos, even just 5-minute videos, explaining a thought experiment. And you could just feel their animosity. And I posted a couple of comments where because they apparently hate this technology, and they hate. So I was saying, like, well, what? There's lots of smart people that make podcasts. Would you just tell them all to shut up because it's a silly or stupid or ineffective way to communicate? If there was like old tapes, videotapes of Einstein just musing about physics, we should burn them, because that's a terrible way to acquire any information. Feynman. The only thing we have left of Feynman are the Feynman lectures. In Auckland, and the ones he did at Cambridge, I think. Well, I don't know where they were. Should we burn them? Because that's just terrible. Feynman making videos, explaining something, making arguments in a video form. How outrageous. What a horrible way to communicate. These are scientists, right? So, I mean, obviously you can smell their fear. They don't like this because this gives people who are making arguments too much advantage on them, because see, they want to just talk trash, so they just make accusations. You killed your mother, you raped a cat, you did this, you did this, you did this, and so you're just constantly defending yourself against idiotic, unsubstantiated accusations. And they know you'll spend so much time typing, you'll get blisters on your fingers, and you'll give up, and you won't bother making an argument. It's just so obvious fear. They're just afraid of the argument, and they're afraid of somebody who can make a good argument. It's just that simple. It's just, I'm winning, they're running, and so they'll probably ban me now, right? Because that's just the way they work. Fear, then they have to burn you. They have to burn you at the stake. They have to get rid of the evil. The scary, horrible thing is coming to get them. The thing you have to voluntarily click on. I mean, the videos don't auto-play. You do have to click on them. You have to hit the button. And they're afraid of that. Freedom of choice? You can't have choices. Choices are obnoxious to science. Obnoxious to intelligent people know that choices are bad. I mean, really. It's just so obvious. Fear. They're afraid of being challenged. Okay. So we'll read through some of this crap. Anyway. So these guys keep, so I wrote, you keep implying that all energy at a frequency is in the form of a sine wave. And they keep doing this. They call things wave equations. I mean, even the idea that we measure the distance, between, like, even the period of a pendulum, and we call it a wavelength. When it's the period of the pendulum, right? But we don't have a word for the length of the period, except to say wavelength. It's not a wave, right? If I shoot a bunch of bullets, there's not a wave of bullets. There's individual bullets, and there's a distance between them. A length, okay? It's not a wavelength. It's a length between events. So we have this prejudiced language, and they just take advantage of that and try to say everything's a wave, when no, things are at frequency, and they move at angles, And that's all that's in Maxwell's equations. There's only angles and intensities in Maxwell's equations. There's no sine waves. There's very little, you'll find very little pi. Okay, pi is evidence of of sinusoidal geometry. And there's very little pi in Maxwell's equations. I don't think there's a single pi, actually. Might be one. There might be like a pi cubed or something. Very little pi. And yet they keep insisting that these are wave equations when they're angle equations. And all of Maxwell's equations are basically vector equations. He's basically describing radial forces, much like gravity. They don't even understand that gravity is a radial force. Oh, it's just so pathetic. Anyway, you said you were not disputing the math. Yeah, I said I haven't even mentioned any math, right? So all I've pointed out is that there's a thing called jamming, that when you have two frequencies out of phase and you send them into an antenna, the antenna is dumb. Antennas are really, really not intelligent. So when something hits them, they can't tell, oh, that's you. Oh, see, they just feel the hits. They're just getting hit with energy. And so if energy comes in and it's of equal strength and it's hitting them, they can't tell that's not a higher frequency, that's two lower frequencies. An antenna can't tell the difference because antennas aren't really smart. They're sort of like people on physics forums. They're kind of dumb. Okay, so I'm not disputing the math, but clearly you are. No, I'm clearly not. There's absolutely no evidence that I've disputed any math by claiming there's a thing called jamming, and that's what's causing the effect in the radar experiment. I'm not violating any math by saying that. All right, in the mathematical description of light waves, well, this is radar, so it's not exactly light, so you could say photon waves. But again, you're claiming they're waves. You haven't proven that. There's no evidence that they're waves. You've just all accepted. You've all believed because you all believe in ether and you won't even admit that. Look, you see, if there was any waves, then there'd have to be tension. So then you'd have to have tension math somewhere in Maxwell's equations. You have to have a lot of tension. And you don't have that until you start getting into arguments about resonance and some arguments about vibrations in musical instruments or something. They are represented as signs. No, they're not. And it's not in the math. There's no sine waves in Maxwell's math. You can keep pretending there are, but there aren't. If you are saying that they are not signs, yes, that's what I'm saying overtly and clearly. There's nothing in the math that obliges them to be signs. The only way you make them into sine waves is because you're saying the intensity is in a field, and you're converting it into the quanta into some sine wave. But there's no evidence that photons actually act that way, and that's why Feynman said it's not a wave. I could play you the Feynman quote again, all right, over and over again. I could play the quote where Feynman's saying, I wish all you these students weren't taught that photons are waves because they're clumps. Okay? They're not waves. You can believe they're waves. It's okay. The math works either way. But I'm just saying you have no right to tell me I'm wrong if I say, no, it's not a wave. You have no evidence it's a wave. The math doesn't insist it's a wave. The math insists it's a quanta at a distance. Then you need to show mathematically what these waves are. No, I don't have to do any of that. I'm not challenging the math. I'm not challenging the effects of the experiment. I'm saying, yes, your description of the effects of the experiment are perfectly correct. I'm challenging your description of cause. And number one, let's recognize you don't even have a description of cause. You don't understand what a photon is. You don't understand what the energy coming off of an antenna is. You have absolutely zero clue. You call it a virtual something or other. All right. And no, I don't say that all energy in the form of sine waves. Well, you just did. Okay, so I don't know. I don't say it, and yet you just said it. That it's represented as a sine. Always. The description of light waves. Well, light waves, if you're saying light waves in the sense of the electromagnetic spectrum, guess what? electro and magnetic, that is almost entirely the entire spectrum of energy. All right, and no, I don't say that all energy is in the form of sine waves, just light waves we are discussing. So again, he's saying these are light waves that we're discussing when I'm clearly discussing radio, okay, which is produced differently than photons, light photons, and they're clearly at a very different frequency where we can control the frequency. Light, we can't control the frequency. This, we control the frequency. Clearly a different kind of energy. I'm just so fucking bullshit. As to how overlapping frequencies that are out of phase effectively double the frequency, I illustrate that in the video. So I did the video over and over again. I mean, this isn't that complicated. 2 1,000 hertz signals, play them at the same time, out of phase, and what do you have? Oh yeah, that looks like 2,000 hertz, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Wow. Throw me in jail for that observation. The rules require you to show that here. So the rules, they have rules. So you can't cite a paper unless you post the entire paper, apparently. Or you can't cite another video. So again, they allow video links. For what reason? Why? If you're not allowed to use videos, why do you allow people to link to videos? Why does your software, as soon as I put the link in, it automatically puts the video box in? Why does it do that if videos are stupid? Oh, amazing. I am challenging the evidence for your model. Even if that were true, it is irrelevant. I mean, what a bizarre statement. Oh, no, it's irrelevant that you might be wrong and that somebody might be challenging your fundamental notions of reality. That's irrelevant. That's not what scientists talk about. Scientists talk about how to stop people from being objectors and how to keep the Borg strong. And, let's get the mullahs. Let's keep the mullahs in control. Okay? We have a strong theory of virtual photons and bent dimensions and multiverses and dark and black energy and all kinds of fun stuff that's never been proven to exist. It's and any conversation about that is irrelevant because that's not science. Science isn't about debating or anything. It's not about trying to find the truth. It's about just establishing your fundamentalist religion. You're just a bunch of cardinals in a cruddy religion. You pompous, arrogant douches. Okay. Amazing. It's irrelevant. Yeah, conversation about how you might be wrong is irrelevant. How convenient. You need to show your model. Well, that's what I did in the video. Newsflash, that's exactly what I did in the video. I showed you a 5-minute video pointing out that here's a little experiment that kind of describes the model. And it sort of explains a paradox for you people, because if you don't believe in radar jamming, then what are you going to say? That the radar can see both of the signals? That I can tune in 2 stations at once? No problem. I can do that on my radio. I can tune in 2 stations at the same time and they both come in clear. I can do that. Not a problem. All right, anyway. You need to show us your model and the evidence supporting it. No, I don't. Again, I'm criticizing your model. I'm showing how, at the very beginning of the whole thing is saying, I'm saying the evidence is weak. Your evidence for your wave theory is preposterously, vacuously weak. All right? And I'm pointing out how all these experiments that you've engineered to oblige people to think this weird thing is happening where photons are interacting with themselves. Well, there's very little evidence that that's really happening. You're just using superficial similarities between things to project it as a truth, but you haven't demonstrated it to be a truth. I'm challenging the integrity of your evidence. I have no obligation to present my model now to you. I'm happy to do it, but you're not going to listen to it, so what's the point? Oh, amazing. You can't listen to a 5-minute video. You want me to do all of physics on the message board. Is that it? That's right, because you've got it all wrong, frankly. Just as the religious people have it all wrong. I mean, they only get a couple of things right, like do unto others and stuff. But it doesn't even make any sense. Do unto others except, you know, throw rocks at them and kill them. All right. Apart from being nonsense, nothing. That explanation relies entirely on constructive and destructive interference that you claim does not exist. I haven't even made that claim. I'm claiming that in the radar example, there's an alternative explanation that's quite simple and ordinary. You don't need any extraordinary explanation. And yours is kind of extraordinary, right? Because quantum mechanics already established with the light experiment with the slits that a single photon does all of this interacting. We didn't have any examples in 1930. They weren't using any examples of different photons interacting with each other. So now you've established that somehow two different photons can interact. So your own theory has a deception in it, right on its face. And you're not accounting for any of it. I'm trying to oblige you to account for the inconsistencies and the paradoxes of your own retarded theory. All right. So again, just lie. I mean, these people just lie, lie, lie. Nowhere did I claim there was no such thing as interference. I personally, frankly, don't believe a photon ever interferes with another photon. So I think that is crap. But the point is, that's not what I'm proving in this case one example. I'm pointing to one experiment, and they can't stay on the subject. Clearly. That you claim does not exist. There's no change in frequency. There is no change in frequency. So how do you know that? So he's asserting there is no change in frequency, yet he can't provide one single piece of evidence confirming that. Confirm that to me. Show me where two frequencies go in, out of phase, and there's no change in what the antenna receives. Go ahead and prove that somewhere. If I was looking for an animation to demonstrate why you are wrong, that would probably be it. Well, why don't you find how I'm wrong? Again, you haven't done it. And what would an animation, what do you mean? Don't you have to have evidence? You can't just draw your fake animation and say that's how it works. Oh, that's right, you do that. You sit there and draw this phony two-wavy thingy for light and say that's what light looks like. And you just made it up. There's absolutely no evidence that light's doing this and this in two different wacky ethers. No proof at all. All right, if you can put your points into written form, it would be appreciated. And I stated, and I would prefer that you make videos. Conflicting dualities suck. And I did the little winky face just to make it a joke. But they couldn't handle the joke. On ELF, what does that mean? These desires is consistent. I don't know, what the hell could that mean? With the rules of the forum. On ELF. Look, they have the rules of the forum. You have to, there's such a Borg. We, the anal nerds, that are associated with the cardinals of physics or whatever, where they're ass wipers, and dick lickers of the Degrassi Tyson douchebags and such, with these fake notions of reality, and they sit there with this little douchey stuff like we have our little control mechanisms because yes, you can't handle the truth. It's quite obvious. You can't have a straight up argument. You can't make a straight up argument. You're just trolls. You're frickin' science trolls. All right, and one isn't. Guess which? So that's supposed to make sense to a rational person. On ELF, these desires is consistent with the rules of the forum. And one isn't. Guess which? How big a douche are you? Oh, let me guess. So where's the rest of the forum? Yeah, I thought this... Oh yeah, I'll view it in this, page straightening thing was a good idea, but somehow you only get to see one message at a time. I mean, that's kind of stupid. So I guess I can turn that off, hopefully. And I'll have to put it back on again, though, right? I don't know, let's see if this will work again. I mean, it was really nice, just had the big text and all that crap. Damn. So that's my post. Well, let's see if it I mean, why wouldn't it have the rest of the pages? What's this stupid pocket thing? Oh, this pocket is stupid crap. Close reader view. I don't know what that even means. So that is really irritating. Where is the rest of it? Let's see if the page down button works. It's always something, you know. Sorry, it's the first time I tried doing it this way. Apparently it's not going to work because this is stupid. It's just stupid. I mean, what? Let's see what this does. Oh, that's not going to help. Crap. Crap, crap, crap. Jesus, that's irritating. Alright, so let me just try embiggening the text and see if that'll do us any good at all. It's not going to do it. Not going to be as nice. Nope. Too full pagey, I'm afraid, right? Yeah, it's going to be too much cut off. Alright, I have to think of something else. Crap. I hate this. Why does, you know, what is this crap? I mean, this is so stupid. They have a feature, toggle reader view. So you put it in reader view, and it doesn't show you the whole page. I mean, how could something be this frickin' stupid? Alright, let's try, sorry, I'm going to try one more thing. I'll toggle it here. Let's see what it has any choices in this reader view. No, it doesn't have any choices. What a stupid frickin' pile of crap. Let's try select all. Oh, man. I mean, you just say sometimes you're just like, nah, they can't be this stupid. They can't be this stupid. They can't be this stupid. Alright, you say select all and it selects nothing. Where'd it go? Alright. Cool. There, alright, now let's try this stupid reader shit. Nope. Just amazing. Right? I mean, this is amazing. I find it amazing that something could be this stupid. You know, this is just so frickin' stupid. This is really frustrating. Damn it. I mean, why would they have a feature like this? It lets you read the first post and nothing else in the reader view? Okay. Alright. So, we will have to just leave it this way, I guess. You're not going to be able to read it very well, but it'll have to do. It's can't, if I go bigger, it just goes wider, and then I have to change the size of the, you know, it's just, I'm not going to do all that. Alright. Sorry. Alright, so this is my post. Okay, so I don't think there's any point in doing this. So I did a thought experiment at the end. I said, okay, here's, we had some argument about the 4x stuff, but I'll get to that later. Alright. Alright, your ideas definitely disputes Maxwell's equations, though. So, which equation and how so? I asked. The third and fourth of Maxwell's equations. Okay, so and then he cites, if you put one into the other, your output, so I thought he would post to the equations, but apparently you can't do that on this form either. If you put one into the other, you output the wave equation. So again, you're saying wave equations. There's no wave equations. There's an angle, sine theta. The equations don't have a tensor in them. They don't have some mechanism for your ether. Okay, there's no wave mechanism. There's just a frequency and an intensity. All right, so you're just full of crap. A vector. We are shown in 5.6 of this link. The wave equation has the property that it is linear. Well, so it's not really a wave because it uses a differential operator, and the differential operator is linear. Again, you can call things anything you want. That doesn't mean anything. It's a vector. It's a force vector. which means its solution can add together, and then it follows that when you superimpose the positive part of the wave with the negative part, they come out to zero. Because that's how addition works. Well, it's not true, so you can pretend that means something, but it means absolutely nothing, because you're just creating a fake duality, a fake bisection. There's only always one force, electric or magnetic, charge or magnetism, monopole force or dipole force. That's all there ever is. Anyway. Alright, in such cases, when you double the voltage, the power would be quadrupled. So let's see. Yes, so your model violates conservation of energy. Alright, this is, I get now what he's saying. He's saying all the energy goes to the positive locations. Okay, so they're, again, not saying photon plus photon equals no photon. They're saying the photons are moved. So they're conceding, in a sense, my point, okay, that the energy doesn't get destroyed like in a wave. The energy doesn't cancel out like in a wave. In fact, the energy is just moved to these locations. So in a sense, the energy is deflected at an angle. And somehow they're saying that individual photons, different photons, are somehow doing that. They're somehow interacting with each other from the different horns and somehow moving to a different location. All right. Okay. You've given no explanation for why. I was arguing conservation of energy as well. So why would you say such a thing? Do you dispute that P equals IV? So here we go. Obviously, I wasn't disputing that. So I say, let's see. So you're saying that even though no slit is causing the wave function, all the energy of the radar is moved to the in-phase location. So I'm basically saying yes. So that's what you're saying. Then he says, do you dispute power equals IV? Which this has nothing to do with. We're just talking about the energy goes from wattage. An amount of energy goes from the antenna and is received by the other antenna. Some percentage of that energy based on distance and the ability of the antenna to receive the energy. And all that's created in the antenna is an electrical signal. Period. A positive to ground signal. No positive ground negative signal. No, antennas don't do that. Antennas do either you hit me with a photon or you didn't hit me with a photon. They're clumps, as Feynman would say. The clump either hits the antenna or the clump doesn't hit the antenna. Okay. No, I'm not disputing the 3 or 4x increase in audio signal. I am arguing your claimed cause. Okay. I'm saying when you have 2x more radar signal, it produces 2x increase in positive voltage. All right. So I won't read my statements. I don't think there's as much information in that. I'm just trying to explain, as I explained in the video, that the electrical signal is just a ground to positive signal, and the amplifier is going to make a mess. Okay, taking that positive signal and turning it into a sine wave. And that's what doubles the amplitude of the volume of the carried signal. It's a glitch of amplification. So I asked this simple question. Did you watch the 5-minute thought experiment video? We'll see. I haven't read any of this crap. I just noticed it was big orange banners that said you can't post videos anymore. But I didn't read any of this extra crap yet. So these videos are going to take a while. And then I'll put this into text and type it. It'd be really fun. Anyway, where was I? I was going to make some other point. Yeah, so anyway, the thought experiment basically points out that they're going to be stuck with this thing where there's going to be radiation heading for the antenna from both antennas. And they have to explain, well, what's going to happen to that energy? If they believe in conservation of energy, do they believe the antenna just says, no, I don't accept any energy? Because you're not going to be able to receive the signal, and I think they know that. If you're implying that all energy at a frequency is in the form of a sine wave. Okay, that's me. You said you were not... Oh, we already did this. Yeah, how come this is down here? We already did this at the top. Oh, no, this is different. You said you were not disputing the math, but clearly you are. No, I'm not. In a mathematical display way, they are represented as signs. If you are saying that they are not signs, yes, that's what I'm saying. You have no evidence of a sine wave. It's not in the math, so that you're just full of crap asserting that there's a sine wave in any of Maxwell's equations. Because there's no sine waves in his equations. Then you need to show mathematically what these waves are. I have no obligation to explain what a wave is. I'm asserting there's vectors, there's intensities, there's angles, there's frequency, and there's sine thetas. That's what I'm asserting. There's rays of force. And no, I don't say that all energy is in form of waves, just that waves are just the light waves we are discussing. So again, I have no obligation to accept, okay, your notion that light is a wave. Now, if you can't call them something generic like photons and be fair about it, then yeah, I'm going to find that offensive. I don't want to say Lord Jesus. I have no obligation to say Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus says. As to how overlapping frequencies that are out of phase effectively double the frequency, I illustrate that in the video. The rules require you to show that here. So we already did this. I don't know why. I don't know. Even if it were true, it's irrelevant. Yeah, we did this already. Apart from being nonsense, yeah, we did this. Okay, I don't know why it's coming up again. All right. If you can put your points into written form, it would be appreciated. And I stated on the video, right after I posted the video, the long one, the hour-long one, I stated right below it, I'll post some bullet points. Okay, I'll get the transcript of the video and I'll post some bullet points. And that's not good enough for them. So you can't have added value. They're afraid of more information. Isn't that all this comes down to? They don't want people to choose to have a conversation. They want to cancel conversations, block them, tell people you're not allowed to talk about this. You're not allowed to argue this. We'll tell you what you're allowed to argue. That's how control freaky they are. Right? It doesn't matter how polite you are. It doesn't matter how disciplined you are in providing your information. They're just going to treat you like garbage because they don't want to have to deal with it. They're cowards. Okay. Let's see. Moderator's note. The rules are not on your side. However, so there is no actual conflict. It doesn't even, they say things don't even, this doesn't even make any sense. The rules are not on your side. However, so there is no actual conflict. Yeah, the rules. The rules. We live in a closed world. We will shut you up. That rule. Oh, somebody deleted stuff. There was more crap on this thing before. What the hell happened to it? Bizarre. So anyway, here's another moderator. Responding to the same thing. So they're not making any arguments now. So I post a 5-minute video of a thought experiment. And they can't respond to it. It's impossible. And I did type it first. So I typed it to this melon head here. I typed it to him. Okay, I explained it in text. I said, take 2 transmitters and have a receiver in between them, blah, blah, blah. So I did type it. And they still can't respond to it. All right, let's make this official. No more videos for you. We don't like them here. Yeah. These are all moderators, by the way, right? These are all moderators. All these fascists are moderators. We don't like them here. They're very difficult to deal with. Oh, because people express opinions? Oh, what a horror, horror, horror. And they have explanations? Oh, and they might even draw you a picture? Oh, God, that's terrible. They're very difficult to deal with in a discussion forum. Yeah, because they're going to have content in them, where your trivial crap doesn't have any content. Your silly accusations that you back up with nothing. You violated equation. Where did I violate some equation? Because I used the word jamming, I violated an equation somewhere. As the quality of the audio and visual varies. Well, that's just absolutely nonsense. Who cares about it? So you can see the video, and clearly the audio on my videos was fine. too greatly for consistency. So what a bogus argument. So why do you allow video links at all on the message board? Why? If you're afraid that one of the videos might be louder than the other video, why do you allow video links at all? That's just such a nonsense. Yeah, I'm just saying, when excuses are this empty and meaningless and silly, why are they doing this? Because they want to burn the books. They want to burn ideas. They're afraid of them. Okay. And quoting is tedious is best. How is it tedious? If somebody makes, if I can go through Richard Feynman's, I have videos. You can quote him. It's not that hard. Richard Feynman said, I'm paraphrasing, that photons come in clumps, and he said basically photomultipliers won't work with waves. So that's why we know they're not waves. Waves spread. That was his argument. Waves do things that photons just don't do. All right, I can paraphrase his argument. He said, it's too bad kids are educated into this notion that photons are waves, because they're not. They're particles. He said it. It's not too hard to say. It's not so hard to type that. Anyway, so write out your work while you're here. Yeah, I'll write responses. I don't have anything to respond to at the moment because you haven't said anything. And save your videos for others. Yes, I will. I'll make videos because I'm a modern, progressive, thinking person who understands that it's an incredibly rich medium. And, any rational, scientifically minded person would say, I would love to see a video of LIGO. I would love to see video from inside the Hadron Collider. I would love to see their data being produced. I want to see more information. I don't want to see less. Unlike you, the cloistered, what do you call that? Vatican. Okay, you control freaks. You want to tell everybody that no, evolution couldn't have happened, and no, don't use condoms. You're retards. Pathetic, fascist, fundamentalist, jihadist against free thought. Let's rigorous sites. You're real rigorous. You're a bunch of rude, obnoxious, snotty nerds. There are plenty out there, and there aren't any, frankly. You're all pussies. Every single science board is full of the same fascism. Okay? Every single time I've posted a reasonable comment about how your theory might be crap, and there might be evidence that it's crap, okay, I'm deleted in 3 hours. You're cowards, pathetic cowards. There are plenty out there, and we don't want to be one of them. So why don't you show me? Why don't you give me a link? You say there's plenty out there. Give me a link to where there's any free thought in the science community. Show me the link to that, where you control shitheads don't sit there every damn time and say, you can't challenge our theory. We're here to insult you. You're not allowed to insult us. Show me the message board where that isn't happening. You liar. You pathetic liar. Jesus. So, no response to the thought experiment. Not a single point made. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I thought there was more here. So, this video isn't going to be the 6-hour video I thought it would be. Alright, so I think that's it. So, yeah, I have so little to respond. I'll just write some kind of statement, generic statement saying, gee, I think it's a little bit closed-minded to think that video isn't a good source of information. I'd sure love to see some videos of Einstein. I guess you wouldn't, More videos of Einstein talking physics? Oh, that would be horrible. Horrible. What a terrible, confusing mess that would make. Especially if it had bad audio or video quality. Oh, terrible. Ooh, no. Bad. Yeah, burn the videotapes. Ugh. Alright. So, enough. The good news is, the next video I'll make is to probably Stephen Bro, who's not dead. I was afraid I killed him. You know, because he was fiddling with microwave ovens and got a hernia or something, or whatever he got. And well, anyway, so I felt really guilty because I killed him. But he's not dead. So the radar experiment is still on the move, and maybe this really simple version, you know, we can get done in soon, a couple of weeks. You know, where you just shoot the radar at a nail. You know, just stick a nail and put a wire on it and shoot the radar at it, and we should be able to see exactly the same effect as the interference effect. Just put a different phase on the two horns. No, you know what I mean? You don't even have to put a different phase on them. All you have to do is move one of them closer and further away, and you'll hear the audio signal change. Yeah, it's probably going to be that simple. So anyway, so we'll see. So that should be coming soon, hopefully. So till the next time, and such. Sorry. It's just so irritating. I really want to have an argument with somebody with a little bit of balls. I mean, somebody who isn't just such a freaking gaping pussy. You know, I mean, these people are just pathetic. You know, it's so archaic. I mean, you know, they do all this quantum stuff. You know, they can create multiverses in their imagination, and they have holographic black holes, and they have all this freaking fancy crap, and they have quantum everything. You know, quantum bubblegum, quantum you know, quantum foot fungus cures, all kind of quantum. And here they are saying, no, but we must always keep our typing stuff. We can only communicate through keyboards. Typing letters on keyboards. That's the only way you can communicate with people. It's the most efficient. Yeah, it's very efficient. I mean, it's like going back to carving on rocks. Like the scientists of the caveman era would have been like, oh no, you can't write on parchment. That's terrible. You have to write on rocks. All the good scientists write on rocks. Never on parchment or bark or something. No, that's evil. They're so backward. They're such clock stoppers. Oh, and they think they're so, oh yeah, we're the future. No, you're a dead past. You're so lame. Weak. Again, don't give me choices. No choices, please. That's what they're just screaming it. And why? Because, yes, choice means people will have access to ideas. So they're just like the Muslims. Don't let people know that there's a bigger world out there. Don't let them know there's more sources of information. Keep it all closed and small. Keep the world small and controllable. They're just about controlling. They're not about any ideal of truth. Truth isn't what they're protecting. They're protecting their infantilely silly and preposterous investment in nonsense. Creeps. So anyway, till the next video and such. So this should have worked a lot better. Can hope. Yeah, can hope.